At 18 years old, I picked up a nobody delinquent girl by the roadside. I tried hard for a long time, but I could never warm her up. Then her first lop appeared. I realized he actually has a gentle side. It's just that person isn't me. The day I let go, I told a lie, said I'd be back soon, and then I never returned. 7 years later, reunion on set. She, now a best actress, grabbed me again. Be back soon. Where exactly did you go? My palms were sweating from nervousness. New best actress by Ningbing was 5 meters behind me. If I turned around, I'd run into him. Teacher bye. The next scene is reuniting with an ex. You need to show longing and reluctance. By Ningbing let out a soft sneer, longing. I think it's wrong. He's an ex-boyfriend. What's there to long for? His voice was still as cold and aloof as before. At 18 years old, he used that voice to call me Xiaoyu, softly or harshly. The discussion behind me continued. I didn't catch what Director Fu said, but Bai Ningbing's distant voice clearly reached my ears. I've long forgotten my ex. I don't have a habit of going back to old flames. As an old flame, I don't plan to acknowledge him either. When the scene finished, everyone went their separate ways. Just as I was thinking that, a colleague suddenly called me loudly. Xiaoyu, did you find the props? It suddenly went quiet behind me. I grabbed the props and ran off in a panic. Bai Ningbing didn't chase after me. He might not have heard, or maybe he did, but didn't care. When leaving the studio, I told my colleague, next time call me Xiaofeng. Don't call me Xiaoyu. What's wrong? Xiaoyu sounds so nice. Does Xiaofeng sound more professional? My colleague laughed heartily and bought the excuse. This was my first job as an assistant director. Before joining the crew, I knew the lead was Bai Ningbing. He's a Nipo Bibai, with access to half the industry's resources. But his acting is great too. Won Best Actress at 25. I happened to be his first lop. I hesitated about whether to come. In the end, I didn't want to give up such a good job. I swore to myself when I got the chance, I absolutely can't let her find me. Otherwise, I'm done for. Because our breakup 7 years ago was very ugly. In the letter, I said, I knew all along you were a Nipo Bibai. I got close to you just to dig up dirt on your family. Actually, I never liked delinquent girls. I lie gentle ones. Let's not see each other again. The words were so carefree, but my departure was just as pathetic. I don't know how Bai Ningbing felt after reading that letter, but he's vengeful. If he catches me, my career might get blacklisted. Bai Ningbing is even more beautiful in person than on TV. Those genes are unbeatable. Don't you know who his parents are? Former Best Actress and Best Actor. Even average looks are better than ordinary people. But I lie. Bai Ningbing's temperament. Well-educated and refined. She must have been the school beauty in high school. I almost choked. Bai Ningbing, a school beauty? Completely wrong. Not only was she not a school beauty, she was the super gang leader everyone avoided. I'll never forget the first time I saw her. It was pouring rain, people rushing by, but she sat there like she was dead, motionless by the roadside, until I got close, then she looked up. Her tone was fierce, scram, but I didn't scram. Instead, I held an umbrella over her head. That was the beginning of me and Bai Ningbing. I shook my head to push the memories away. The studio was too noisy, so I went to the stairwell, but as soon as I pushed the door open, I saw Bai Ningbing standing in the dark. He looked at me coldly. Lie back then, the stairwell was dark and quiet. I lowered my head to leave, but Bai Ningbing called out to me. What do you do? Assistant director. Just graduated and already an assistant to Director Zhang? Pretty impressive. Thank you, Teacher Bai. How old are you? 25. He chuckled lazily. We're the same age, and you call me teacher? Director Fu also calls you Teacher Bai, and he's 43. Then say it again. I braced myself. Teacher Bai in the dark. I couldn't see Bai Ningbing clearly. She seemed to curl her lips, but it was a cold, emotionless smile. I got goosebumps, but I clung to hope. He definitely can't recognize me. Compared to 7 years ago, I've almost completely changed. From a scrawny, sallow bean sprout, to a little handsome guy people compliment. Even my relatives barely recognized me, especially now, in the dark. Teacher Bai, you rest. I'll head back first. Wait, he called me again. What's your name? Feng Chen. Have you used any other names? No. Bai Ningbing fell silent. I broke out in a cold sweat. I used to be called Feng Chen. Later I changed my name to Feng Xiaoyu. He lied to me. Now I'm lying to him again, so we're even. Summer vacation of freshman year. I found Bai Ningbing at a street corner. She said she had nowhere to go and no family. I believed her. I thought she was limey, a poor kid nobody wanted. After my mom and dad divorced when I was little, they each started new families, and both had sons. Neither of them wanted me. I was fostered in my aunt's basement. I've been well behaved since I was young, because if I'm good, at least I get to eat. Bai Ningbing and I are completely different people. I'm introverted and quiet, except for studying. I don't know anything else. In sophomore year, Bai Ningbing and I were placed in the same class. No one knew what his family did. There were even rumors he had no parents and no home. At school, we were like strangers, but no one knew that every night. Bai Ningbing would knock on the basement window. I'd clear a small space on the floor for him to sleep. Before my aunt woke up the next day, he'd leave early. As if he'd never been there. Bai Ningbing often skipped class and was always injured. Every time I applied medicine for her. Bong Xiaoyu, can you be gentler? Call me Xiaoyu. Classmate Xiaoyu, can you be gentler? Xiaoyu is my nickname, given by my late grandmother. Compared to Feng Xiaoyu, I prefer this name, because Bai Ningbing always came to sleep on the floor. I subconsciously thought he was even more pitiful than me. I also developed an illusion. When I forgot my textbook in class, and the teacher was questioning me, Bai Ningbing walked from the last row to the front, and threw his textbook on my desk. Even though I'm a boy, I developed late, and was quite small. Students from other classes often bullied me. Whenever I was wronged and didn't know how to argue, Bai Ningbing would stand in front of me. He's under my protection. I mistakenly thought we had a mutual bond, until later I understood. There was no mutual bond at all. Bai Ningbing is a Nipo Bibai, with countless properties and sports cars at home. One pair of his shoes could buy a season's worth of my clothes. He was just using me to piss off his family. When did I find out? Probably the day Lu Jingyan appeared. My thoughts were interrupted. Back in the studio, a cup of milk tea was shoved into my hand. Lu Jingyan is visiting the set again. He bought milk tea for everyone. Look, the rich, handsome guy and the best actress are a perfect match. I looked at Bai Ningbing in the distance, tilting her head, listening to Lu Jingyan talk beside him. Like everyone else, I couldn't take my eyes off the beautiful scene. Suddenly, Bai Ningbing seemed to sense something, and looked over at me. I immediately lowered my head. When I looked up again, Bai Ningbing wasn't looking at me, as if it was just my imagination. Bing bing, after we wrap up, come with me to Paris for the fashion show. The tone was exactly the same as 7 years ago. I couldn't help but fall into thought. In high school, Bai Ningbing and I maintained a pure classmate relationship, until the summer after the college entrance exam. Bai Ningbing and I finally got together. Bai Ningbing wasn't enthusiastic, but she didn't refuse either. She still couldn't utter a single gentle word. In some ways, she was a qualified girlfriend, like being considerate and giving me face. Bai Ningbing never took me to meet his friends. Once, I went to the pool hall to surprise her. But she frowned and said irritably, "Don't come here again." I didn't think much of it. I thought that was just her personality, until Lu Jingyan appeared. He was wearing expensive suits with perfect hair, like a beam of light entering my world. Bing bing, what are you doing here? I just bought a Ferrari. Let's go for a ride. The word Ferrari almost made me trip. Lu Jingyan looked at my wide eyes with confusion. Bing bing, who is this? Hello, I'm Bai Ningbing's boyfriend. Ha, are you kidding me? How could Bing Bing possibly lie you? I'm her future boyfriend. Our families have an engagement. Who said that? Bai Ningbing scowled and pushed Lu Jingyan out. That engagement. I never agreed to it. His explanation was weak. Later, Bai Ningbing's parents came to see me. That's when I found out Bai Ningbing is a Nipo Bibai. Not just any Nipo Bibai. His family basically controls half the entertainment industry. Bai Ningbing has a bad relationship with his parents. He deliberately transferred from an elite school to a regular high school, and deliberately didn't go home. His parents were always away, and didn't care much about their daughter. They had no idea what she was up to every day. At the end of that conversation, his father said to me, "Classmate Feng, you might not know, but Bai Ningbing, even though she's a girl, is very rebellious. She's with you just to piss us off. She doesn't really lie you. That kid has done this kind of thing before. If you don't believe me, watch how she treats Jingyan. She likes Jingyan. They've grown up together. She just hasn't realized her own feelings. Classmate Feng, you're not from our world." Then I realized his father wasn't lying to me, even though she said she was annoyed. Bai Ningbing was very patient with Lu Jingyan. Once, Lu Jingyan was mocking me for being poor. The next second, when Bai Ningbing appeared, he put on a wronged face. Bing bing. Feng Xiaoyu just said he'd hit me. I told you not to mess with him. At that moment, I understood. Bai Ningbing isn't a heartless tree. He just doesn't bloom for me. At the end of August, I accepted Bai Ningbing's parents' conditions. With their funding, I went abroad to study. Given my situation, this was probably my only chance to study abroad in life. The day I left, I told Bai Ningbing I wanted to go buy chocolate. Bai Ningbing habitually pulled out his wallet to buy the most expensive. I didn't take it. No need yours. I'll be right back. I'll wait for you. And then I never came back. As Bai Ningbing's parents requested, I left a vicious breakup letter, completely cutting off Bai Ningbing's hopes. This 3-month limited first lop faded away with the arrival of autumn. I changed my name, and cut off all contact with high school classmates. I used to be pretty invisible, and was often bullied by classmates. I cherished the hard-earned opportunity to study, and learn to work out and dress well. My name and appearance had both changed. Plus, Bai Ningbing's parents deliberately hid it. Bai Ningbing couldn't find me at all. To him, I might as well be dead. But I heard plenty about Bai Ningbing. After I left, he decided to retake the exam, got into the Beijing Film Academy and debuted. His career was smooth sailing. She is gentle and elegant on camera. Her charming smile captivates fans' hearts. Completely unlike her former self. I guess people change. I changed too. After a day's work, I was sore all over. But at the same time, I felt energized. Wow, this is stunning. What? Bai Ningbing's new leaked photos are trending. I leaned in to look. A candid photo sparked heated discussion. Bai Ningbing, this scene is meeting an ex. Look at his eyes, they're amazing. Bai Ningbing brought the female lead to life. In the photo, Bai Ningbing was quietly looking ahead. Her every move was very dignified, but there was a red flame burning in her eyes, wild and crazy. What shocked me more was, at the edge of the photo, where her gaze fell, the blurred figure in the background was me. Filming continued the next day. The male lead had an accident, and had to go to the hospital. It was an important scene between the leads. No one could afford delays. The director was anxious. Finally, they decided to use a stand-in first, to film Bai Ningbing's shots. Bai Ningbing wanted to choose the stand-in herself. I stood at the very edge of the crowd. Bai Ningbing's gaze landed on me. Him. I'm busy. The director had no objections, and urged me to quickly change into the male lead's clothes. I only needed to show my back, but to avoid any mistakes. The makeup artist still did my makeup. When I stood in front of Bai Ningbing, she was dazed for a moment. Bai Ningbing asked if I was nervous. You've never acted. Just listen, relax. If you're tense, your body will be stiff, and it'll look unnatural on camera. Oh cool, I can take a deep breath to calm down. Thank you, teacher Bai. When the camera's on me, just listen to my lines, and... Bai Ningbing didn't finish. I looked up at him, and what? And where's my chocolate? He said it word by word, with a crazy look in his eyes, no less intense than back then. He slowly reached out. Xiaoyu, it's been 7 years. You should have bought it by now, right? I'm done for. That was my first thought. Bai Ningbing had probably recognized me long ago. Coincidentally, this scene was also the female lead's heartfelt confession to the male lead after a long separation. I almost thought it was what he wanted to say to me, but how could that be? In reality, Bai Ningbing never said sweet words to me. After filming, the director gave me a thumbs up. Xiaofang, you have some acting talent. Your eyes were perfect just now. Maybe we were both just playing ourselves. For the next few scenes, Bai Ningbing specifically requested me to coordinate. My head was spinning. Bai Ningbing has too many interests involved. Even the director can't afford to offend him. At this point, appointing me isn't revenge. What is it? I was promoted from assistant to associate director. Bai Ningbing's exclusive associate director. I had to be around him 18 hours a day. But I did more than just associate director work. Lie moving heavy props on set. As soon as I rolled up my sleeves, Bai Ningbing grabbed me. Buy me a milk tea. Not just milk tea. He also ordered a lot of snacks. Even though delivery was available, he insisted I bring them back in person. But to be fair, my colleagues were all envious of me, getting paid to go out and wander around. But when I brought the snacks back, Bai Ningbing didn't want to eat them. After working under Bai Ningbing for a week, I actually gained weight. Over time, even my colleagues got curious. Is he deliberately buying snacks for you? Impossible. But he's really indulgent with you. Bai Ningbing is very strict. His company also invested in this drama. He scolded previous associate directors, but he's never scolded you. That's not true. He's torturing me enough. I denied it outright. Rumors on set reached Lu Jingnian's ears. Lu Jingnian rushed over. Are you Bingbing's new assistant? I couldn't help but correct him. Associate director. So young, can you do the job well, young Master Ji? Please don't judge by appearances. Lu Jingnian stared at me for a long time. Have I seen you somewhere before? You might be mistaken. I have no interest in reminiscing with a rich young master. I continued organizing my work plan. Lu Jingnian snorted. I've seen plenty of you crew people. Don't think just because Bingbing favors you, you have a chance to climb up. I suggest you know your place. Otherwise, you'll be too late to be heartbroken. What are you talking about? You look a bit like Bingbing's ex-boyfriend. After saying that, Lu Jingnian waited for my reaction. He thought I'd be shocked or upset, but I looked at him confused. So, he's just using you as a replacement. It's not because he appreciates you. Bingbing hates that man. Don't get too cocky. I put down my work and smiled at him. If he hates him, why find a replacement? That's contradictory. Lu Jingnian was speechless. After he left, I couldn't calm down. Bai Ningbing hates me. Just as I thought. That night, Bai Ningbing suddenly messaged me, asking me to bring him medicine. Since I can't afford to offend the lead actress, I bought the medicine and brought it up. I thought Bai Ningbing was just messing with me, but he was actually sick. With large beads of sweat on his forehead. What's wrong? Stomach ache. Where's your assistant? Went to the city. Can't make it back in time. Strange, Bai Ningbing never had stomach problems before. What happened to your stomach? Didn't eat well during the retake here. Why didn't you eat? No one saved me any food. He looked at me with half-closed eyes. This reminded me of when Bai Ningbing used to sleep on my floor. I would always save him some food. By the time I finished my homework, he'd have already eaten it all. The cafeteria food is terrible, still the same stubborn temper. I saw a large table of food still steaming. Just arrived, but my stomach hurts too much to eat. What a waste. I'm starving from eating crew box lunches every day. You eat it, she said it casually. It'll go to waste anyway. If you don't eat it, throw it away for me. I broke apart a pair of disposable chopsticks and sat down at the table. I ate quietly, and the room was quiet too. I thought Bai Ningbing was asleep. When I turned my head, he was looking at me with a smile, but the moment our eyes met, his smile disappeared, and he went back to looking like the world owed him. Not changed at all. We were silent as usual, not speaking to each other, until I was about to leave. Bai Ningbing suddenly spoke. Lu Jingnian and I have nothing going on. Not in the past, not now, and definitely not in the future. I nodded politely, but teacher Bai, I don't care anymore. Those words made Bai Ningbing sulk for days. Whatever, we're almost done filming anyway. But just a few days before wrapping up, a not-so-small accident happened. A scene with a boat in windy weather. The sound guy had gone to the bathroom. I took over his job, standing at the edge of the deck, holding a microphone longer than me. I was a bit unbalanced, wobbling. A strong gust of wind blew. I lost my footing and fell off the boat. There was a lake below, but I can't swim. In the chaos, I heard a sharp cry. Xiaoyu. Bai Ningbing jumped straight in after me. She grabbed me tightly, as if she would never let go. After that, I don't remember anything. I woke up in an unfamiliar room. There was a handwritten note by the bed. This is my place, not far from the filming base. I took leave for you. Rest for a few days. If you need to change clothes. There are men's clothes in the closet. I just had someone buy. It was clearly Bai Ningbing's style. Many actors have houses near the filming base. Bai Ningbing is no exception. I used to read gossip saying, he stays here most of the time. The house was very clean. I entered the closet. A black umbrella was the first thing I saw. It was the same umbrella I gave Bai Ningbing many years ago. The umbrella was old and of poor quality, but it was placed in the very center of the closet. I suddenly remembered that rainy day. I used this umbrella to shield us from the storm. Bai Ningbing kept trying to chase me away. I don't know where I got the courage. I pulled up his sleeve to check his wounds. Pulled back his sleeve and check his wound. He wanted to curse, but held back. Good thing we didn't have to go to the hospital. Wait here, I'll buy medicine and be right back. I shoved the umbrella into his hand. Just go. 10 minutes later, I came back. I bought medicine and food. The heavy rain turned me into a drowned rat. He silently watched me from that day on. Bai Ningbing never said a bad word to me again. I found out later. She was actually shocked that day. No one had ever come back for him in his life. I was the first. End of memory. I found some clothes and slowly changed, but before I could put my shirt on, the closet door suddenly swung open. Bai Ningbing and I stared at each other. It was a bit awkward. Bai Ningbing quickly backed out. After I finished changing, why didn't you make any noise? I thought you left again. Don't yell. Bai Ningbing froze, his anger completely gone. That line used to work well. Whenever Bai Ningbing got angry, I'd casually say, don't yell. I didn't expect it to still work now. I'm not even mad at you yet. Why didn't you knock before coming into the closet? I didn't know you were in there. She blushed. I didn't see anything. If you're upset, I can apologize. Sorry. I'd noticed before that although Bai Ningbing was stubborn and tough, he was surprisingly innocent about certain things. It's so cool. I'm a bit tired, I said without thinking. It's not lie, I haven't seen it before. As soon as I said it, I knew it was wrong. Sure enough, Bai Ningbing pursed his lips. His face and neck were completely red. I changed the subject. You don't have any more scenes today, right? I'll go cook some porridge. Take your medicine in a bit. You caught a bit of a cold from falling in the water. When Bai Ningbing brought the porridge over, he was still wearing an apron. I couldn't help but take a second look. You look gentle in an apron. What did you say? I said thank you. Bai Ningbing's eyes lit up, but his tone was fierce. Eat it all. Don't waste it. What else do you want to eat? I can reluctantly make it for you. No need. Go ahead and do your thing. I don't have a scene tomorrow morning. I'm not going back to the set tonight, so I have time to prep ingredients. And tonight, you sleep here. I'll move to the guest room. The guest room doesn't have extra bedding. If you're sick, stay in bed. Stop making things hard on yourself. Bai Ningbing pointed at the floor. Same as before, I'll sleep on the floor. In the middle of the night, my fever came back. Bai Ningbing barely slept. He kept changing my towel every so often. When you're delirious with fever, you start hallucinating. In a daze, I thought I was back in that small basement. Bai Ningbing was sleeping on the floor, keeping several meters away from me, as if to avoid suspicion. A table was between us. All I could see was his thin back. Once, Bai Ningbing was sick. He held it in and didn't say anything. When I woke up in the middle of the night and realized something was wrong, his forehead was burning hot. I found fever medicine, and wiped his face over and over. Bai Ningbing suddenly reached out and grabbed me. He held on for a long time, as if afraid I'd leave. He only let go after he fell asleep. That was the closest I got to him before graduation. Most of the time, we were strangers. We'd even pass by each other at school. I spent the night in a daze. When I woke up the next day, Bai Ningbing was already gone. He was called in for reshoots, but there were already cooked dishes on the table. Right in the middle was a pack of chocolate, the most expensive kind. But halfway through my meal, someone came in. I thought Bai Ningbing was back, but it was a strange woman. I recognized her. Bai Ningbing's agent, also his good friend. The agent stared at me blankly. Oh my, I explained myself 100 times. I'm just the assistant director of the crew. What's your name? Just call me Feng Xiaoyu. He was so shocked he almost jumped. Feng Xiaoyu? You're Feng Xiaoyu? He looked at me with sudden understanding. You're Xiaoyu? So what? Seeing my confusion, he continued. Bai Ningbing went crazy looking for you before. Couldn't find you, so he gave up on himself, didn't eat or sleep. He was completely at rock bottom. Now it's good. He found you, he can rest easy. 7 years. Finally, he doesn't have to torture himself anymore. You're joking. I only dated him for 3 months. It wasn't that unforgettable. How could it be? Don't you know Bai Ningbing became a star because of you? Because of his parents. He hated the celebrity profession since he was a child. His family wanted him to debut as a child star. He refused. But right after breaking up with you, he suddenly said he wanted to be a star. He said it was because you liked movies. Being a star means standing in the brightest, highest place, so you could see me. I was stunned for a moment. That did happen. One night, I couldn't sleep, and I started talking to Bai Ningbing. Hey, classmate Bai, are you asleep? No. I watched a Movie 6 today, The Shawshank Redemption. It was really good. Not interested. I want to make movies too someday, but that's expensive, right? Too bad I don't have money. Making a Movie 6 doesn't cost that much. I thought he didn't know anything, and was just daydreaming, so I didn't say anything else. So he remembered it all. The agent sighed with emotion. It only took 3 months for him to remember you for a lifetime. In the afternoon, Bai Ningbing came back. He asked the agent, "What are you doing here? Since you're wrapping up, I came to clean up." "No need, you can go. Also, I'm going to take a break for a while. Don't schedule any appearances. You're ditching friends for lop. Remember when you couldn't find him before? You cried your eyes out in front of me." Bai Ningbing awkwardly interrupted. "Don't say that in front of my boyfriend." I corrected him. "Ex-boyfriend. If you didn't break up with me in person, it doesn't count. I wrote a letter, that's all." I read it and threw it away. Who knows if you even wrote it yourself? The agent saw this and slipped away. "Aren't you angry when you see that letter? I said I'd expose your secrets. You don't have the guts, and whether you expose me or not, can't I trek the news myself?" I was speechless. Bai Ningbing went to wash fruit. I continued. "Breaking up only needs one person's agreement, whether you accept it or not. We've been over for a long time." Bai Ningbing's body stiffened. He turned to look at Fang Xiaoyu. "Then I'll chase you." "It's useless, Wan Ningbing. Are you mad at me? Because I lied to you, didn't tell you about my background? Or because of Lu Jingnian? I didn't explain it to you in time." "It's both, and neither, Bai Ningbing. We're not the same kind of people. Don't force it." The room was silent. I don't know how long passed. His eyes were bloodshot, and he said pitifully, "I will force it." I didn't take Bai Ningbing's words to heart. After wrapping up, I went back to my hometown. My aunt's old house was going to be demolished. She asked me to help deal with the furniture. Even though my aunt used to favor her own kids, she did raise me after all. I wouldn't be an ungrateful person. On the way back, I passed by my old high school. It had been renovated a few years ago and looked very different. I stood at the school gate for a while. Suddenly, someone called out to me, "Hey, you're that person. I remember you." A woman came out of the janitor's room. She looked about my age. "You went to this school? I remember you were in the same class as Bai Ningbing, right?" I nodded. "You are? I used to argue with Bai Ningbing." "Oh, right. Why are you alone today? Where's Bai Ningbing? Doesn't he always follow behind you?" I was shocked. "Follow behind me?" "Yeah, every day after evening self-study, Bai Ningbing would follow behind you, watching you get home safely." "You didn't know there was such a thing?" Seeing my disbelief, the woman continued. "That time I argued with him, he suddenly stopped in the middle, said class was over and he had to go back to school. I thought it was strange at the time. Him, going back to school? So I followed him. And found him waiting at the gate, waiting and waiting for you to come out, then following behind you. He didn't come find me until you got home. I found out later. He was afraid that offending people would get you involved, so he had to protect your safety." The woman pointed at the sycamore tree in the corner. "She stood right there waiting for you." 17-year-old Bai Ningbing liked to wear black, always blending in with the night. A gust of wind blew. It was as if he was standing right there. My aunt called to urge me. When I arrived, they were clearing out the basement. The bed I slept on, the desk I used, were all being carried out one by one. "Xiaoyu, I found something. Come quick." He pointed at a corner of the floor. "It's carved all over with your name. That girl carved it, right? The one who became a celebrity." "How did you know?" "Oh, he came to see me before." "When? Do you remember? I found something here before. And gave you a good scolding. I remember you were so stubborn back then. I didn't even want to talk to you. You absolutely refused to tell the truth. Insisted it was yours. But I knew you weren't that kind of kid." Remembering the past, my aunt said nostalgically, "I scolded you. That day, that girl was right at the window. She saw everything. Later, she found me privately, knelt in front of me and admitted her mistake, begged me not to blame you." I clutched my clothes, my breath slowed. I was afraid she'd lead you astray. I absolutely forbade him from sleeping on the floor anymore, so that's how it was. Near the end of sophomore year, Bai Ningbing stopped coming to eat and sleep over. He told me he found a place to stay. Actually, he was just afraid of affecting me. Those worn marks on the floor meant Bai Ningbing also had sleepless nights. Bai Ningbing didn't say a word, but called out to me in his heart thousands and thousands of times. The day before the demolition, I walked from the school gate back to my aunt's house again. This familiar path was covered by dense sycamore trees. I walked all the way to the end, and saw that small basement window. As if by telepathy, I turned around. Bai Ningbing, wearing a mask, stood across the street. 20 minutes later, later, we sat down at the restaurant we used to go to. I hadn't answered his calls since wrapping up. I didn't expect him to find me anyway. The restaurant was next to the old pool hall. I watched the people coming and going, suddenly wanted an answer. By Ningbing, that summer, I came here to find you. You were very impatient and chased me away. Do you know how heartbroken I was? Bai Ningbing was stunned for a moment. I wasn't impatient. I was just scared and anxious. That pool hall wasn't a good place. And the people I was meeting that day weren't good people. Those girls were always trying to set me up. When you showed up, I was really terrified. I was afraid they'd target you. Bai Ningbing frowned, thinking hard. I'm sorry, I was too nervous. It made you misunderstand. Just then, the owner called our number. I asked Bai Ningbing to buy a bottle of water. While he was gone, I was surrounded by a few women. Hey handsome, give us your number. Was that your girlfriend just now? Why is she wearing a mask while eating? Is she sick? I looked at them coldly and walked away. Oh, quite the attitude. Do you know who we are around here? The leading woman reached out to touch me. The next second, she let out a painful scream. I almost twisted her wrist. I don't hit women. Just then, Bai Ningbing came back. He doesn't hit, but I do. Bai Ningbing completely dropped his disguise and persona, exuding aggression. I stared blankly. It was him. The Bai Ningbing I knew was back. I had no doubt Bai Ningbing could take on all four, and knock them all down. But I had to stop him. He's in a special position now and can't fight. But Bai Ningbing is stubborn. He stared them down, insisting on getting justice. Bai Ningbing, don't yell. I tugged at his hand. Bai Ningbing froze instantly. It was lie he was washed clean. All his strength was gone, even his edges softened. Forget it, then. Bai Ningbing, let's run. Bai Ningbing grabbed my hand tightly. We ran outside. Through the streets and crowds, we ran and ran, without getting tired. My heartbeat grew louder in my ears. Thump thump thump. The last time I heard this sound, it was also because of this person, the thrill of my youth. And right now, she was still that stubborn girl. We ran all the way to my aunt's house, and ducked into the basement. It was completely empty now, waiting for demolition tomorrow. Even the lights were gone, only moonlight came in. Stow you. We both spoke at the same time. Then decided, I'll go first. You used to walk me home every day. Yeah, I used to have a bad temper and made enemies. I wasn't comfortable with you walking alone. Why didn't you tell me then? What would be the point? He said with a smile. You were going to college. Focus on your studies. Leave everything else to me. I pointed at the carvings on the floor. Then what do these mean? It means I lie you. I was stunned for a moment. You never said that when you were 18. Bai Ningbing lowered his eyes and spoke slowly. Because back then, I didn't know how to say it. Bai Ningbing's past was a bit special. He had parents, but it was lie he didn't. He grew up in a cold relationship. No one taught him how to lop someone, and no one told him how to express lop. Bai Ningbing thought being available at any time, and spending money on me was a confession. I was actually hep pie when I confessed, but because I wasn't used to being loved, or being close, I seemed very passive. Bai Ningbing practiced in front of the mirror, saying I lie you, but it felt awkward. He couldn't say it, so he wrote it down. He learned from other girls and folded 1,000 paper cranes, writing I lie you inside each one, planning to give them to me on my birthday. Too bad that day never came. Later, he acted in films and experienced different lives, finally learned how to express himself, but the person he wanted to tell was already gone. After a moment of silence, I asked, what about Lu Jingyan? Wan Ningbing shook his head. I treated him well, because he saved my life. What? When I was a kid, my parents didn't care about me. He was the only one who came to play with me. Once, I had a fever. He was the first to notice. He cried and made a fuss, getting the adults' attention. Only then did they realize I was sick. The doctor said if I had come any later, my brain would have been damaged. Mentioning the past, Bai Ningbing smiled bitterly. After that, I promised him I'd treat him like a brother. And I've treated him well all these years. I really did see him as a brother. But there was another secret that summer. Lu Jingyan threatened me. If I didn't bring him along, he'd go tell my parents, and make them completely hate you. My parents always believed Lu Jingyan. If he exaggerated things, it would be bad for you. And I didn't trust my parents' character. If they took it out on you, they might secretly pull strings, and make it so you couldn't even go to college. I suddenly understood. So you told me not to mess with him. Det. Bai Ningbing knew what I was talking about. Lu Jingyan said you framed him. I didn't believe a word of it. I just hoped you wouldn't have any contact with him. Don't even talk to him. That way, you'd be safe. He looked a bit dejected. I didn't think it would make you misunderstand so deeply. Actually, you could have just asked me. Thinking back on the past, I was filled with mixed emotions. She didn't know how to lop someone. Did I know? No, I didn't either. Abandoned by my biological parents one after another, I lost the courage to question. In my world, Only by studying and working hard. Would I get a rare word of praise? Only then would I not be abandoned again. So when it came to Bai Ningbing, I would rather be heartbroken to death than question him even once, and I didn't dare to get angry. Not knowing how to lop was a common flaw for both of us. The moonlight was CU, but there was one more thing. I explained to Bai Ningbing, your parents paid for me to go abroad. I guessed as much. Actually, I could have chosen not to go, but that might have been my only chance to study abroad. I was selfish that one time. I understand. Bai Ningbing smiled, unusually gentle. Xiaoyu, you're too kind. I really wish you'd be a little more selfish. Don't let the outside world hurt you. From now on, I'll focus on my career too. No problem. I'll follow you. You're a best actress with a bright future. Why follow me? Even becoming a best actress was because of you. But we only dated for 3 months. But my feelings lasted longer than 3 months. Bai Ningbing was all action. The day after the misunderstanding was cleared up, he posted on Weibo to make it public, and tagged me. 3 months for a lifetime trended, almost crashing the site. The whole internet was gossiping. I was worried Bai Ningbing's parents would cause him trouble again, but I worried for nothing. Bai Ningbing was 25. Even if his parents disagreed, what could they do? With Bai Ningbing's personality, they couldn't interfere at all. Maybe they couldn't control him even 7 years ago. That's why they went after me. I just lost to my own lack of confidence. After the New Year's greeting and coming out, one more person trended. That day, Lu Jingnian came to me furiously. I thought you looked familiar. So you're Fang Xiaoyu. So what? Break up with Bingbing now. I'm the one engaged to him. I opened my mouth but hesitated. Bai Ningbing arrived, standing right behind Lu Jingnian. Lu Jingnian kept provoking. Have you seen the online comments? They all say you're a gold digger, and that you came between me and Bai Ningbing. If you don't want to lose your job, break up with her and give her back to me. What relationship do I have with you? I didn't know about it. Bai Ningbing spoke up coldly. Lu Jingnian panicked. Bingbing, how did this poor guy fool you again? Watch your mouth. Bai Ningbing slammed the table. His tone was threatening. You said you treat me like a brother, so why are you yelling at me? I've done my part. A brother shouldn't want to be anything else. Otherwise, we can't even be friends. Lu Jingnian had never been spoken to like that. He was furious. Bai Ningbing, are you bewitched by him? I'll hold a press conference. Just you wait. His gold digger image won't wash off. First, there's no written proof of any engagement between us. It was just a joke between our parents. I've publicly denied it many times. Bai Ningbing narrowed his eyes. Second, if you dare to do it, don't blame me for being ruthless. But this poor guy is nowhere near good enough for you. Bai Ningbing suddenly looked at him with a bit of pity. All you say is poor. Lu Jingnian, have you ever really loved someone? Of course, I lop you. No, you don't lop me. Bai Ningbing interrupted him. If I weren't named Bai and didn't have celebrity parents, if I were just a delinquent, would you still lop me? Lu Jingnian was stunned, as if he'd never thought about it. If you saw me lie that on a rainy day, if I sat by the roadside, would you hold an umbrella for me? Probably not. You'd just silently curse me as a social outcast. You lop my status, not who I really am. You can't even accept that I used to be a delinquent. Bai Ningbing pulled me away, and when I looked back, Lu Jingnian was still frozen in place. He seemed deeply shaken. I wonder if he understood. But a week later, I heard Lu Jingnian's press conference went ahead as scheduled. Bai Ningbing couldn't stop the press conference, but he prepared a lot for the upcoming crisis. Only the press conference didn't go as we expected. Lu Jingnian appeared before the cameras dressed sharply. He looked haggard. Today, I have something to declare. Bai Ningbing and I are not engaged. The whole room was in an uproar. Everyone came for the juicy gossip. Lie the actress cheating or something. Bai Ningbing and I grew up together because of our family's partnership, but he sees me as an older brother, and I only see her as a younger sister. The engagement was just a rumor. Neither of us acknowledged it. Our parents just casually mentioned it. It's not official. I never liked Bai Ningbing, and he feels the same. I hope everyone stops spreading false rumors. As for Fang Xiaoyu, Lu Jingnian paused for a moment, then said seriously, she is Bai Ningbing's first lop. I used to judge by appearances, and I deeply apologized to him. Public opinion instantly reversed. Netizens dug up some of Lu Jingnian's past arrogant remarks. There was a lot of discussion, but the good thing was, all the PR Bai Ningbing prepared was unnecessary. I was very puzzled. Why did he suddenly change? Bai Ningbing grinned. If he didn't change, there'd be no cooperation between our families. Bai Ningbing now has the most say in his family. The family company is also in his hands. Lu Jingnian bowed his head for the sake of cooperation. Half a year later, Bai Ningbing's father fell ill. He couldn't keep working hard. His mother also cancelled most of her schedules to stay home and care for him. As for Bai Ningbing, his career was going smoothly, and he held all the power. The elders could no longer interfere with any of his decisions. The enlightened Bai Ningbing was like a different person. Whatever he lacked before, he now wanted to make up for it. Half of his Weibo posts were about me. He even mentioned it on shows, that I used to be a delinquent girl. My boyfriend pulled me out of the darkness. Let me see a glimmer of light. But there were side effects too. he couldn't find me. Bai Ningbing would get anxious, afraid I'd leave again. Sometimes in the middle of the night, she would hold me and not let go, calling my name over and over. Xiaoyu, the cold queen of acting in outsiders' eyes, loves to act spoiled with me. He calls my name again and again, reminding me of the carvings buried in the dust. At 27, Bai Ningbing and I went back to our alma mater. Youth is like the seasons, one after another. There are always people who are young. There are always people who don't know how to deal with jealousy. Outside the classroom back then, there was a huge plane tree. We stood under the tree, listening to the sound of reading aloud. Bai Ningbing, 7 years. What if I hadn't come back? You would have come back. So sure? You came back on that rainy day, so I believe you'll come back this time too. I'm the only one in his life who left and came back. Now, it's still us. Standing under the classroom window, Bai Ningbing stood on tiptoe and kissed me. Xiaoyu, I love you. In high school, I picked up a little delinquent no one wanted. Today marks the 10th year since I picked her up, and it's our first day of getting our marriage license. If someone asks me in the future, what's the best love letter I've ever received, I'll tell them it's the path after school. It's the nights we spent